Welcome to Phil Wilson Chats with Celebrities. And here is your host, Phil Wilson.
Belfast singer-songwriter Nadia is delighting audiences with the euphoric new single, Catch Me If You Can. And the wonderful Nadia joins me now to tell us all about it. How are you doing, Nadia?
Good. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem at all. It's great to have you on the show. And yes, I've been looking at all of your YouTube videos and such like, which we'll be talking about a little bit later on. And your music is absolutely wonderful. A great breath of fresh air.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Absolutely love it. Now, for our listeners just finding your music, when did you start your love of music and performing?
Oh, so I grew up around music. So my mum and dad were singers. My dad was a musician. So it was just something just always in my life. I was always doing musical theatre and things like that as a kid. And yeah, I was just always writing songs. I recorded probably my first song whenever I was like 9 or 10.
Wow.
super young. And then it's just progressed from there. So I loved soul music growing up, and that's kind of where I started. And then it's just progressed into pop music now.
Fabulous. And when you were singing at home, did you have somebody with a comb and paper and somebody, was it a right, someone with a fiddle or something playing?
Oh, I think it just started off as like little diaries whenever I was like very young, like little lyric books. And then I can play a little bit of piano and stuff. So then I started to accompany myself, and it's just kind of, yeah.
It's just gone on from there. Excellent.
Yeah.
Now, who inspires you in the music world?
Oh gosh, there's so many people. I mean, like I said, I loved soul music growing up. So I think as a vocalist, I love like Aretha Franklin and Etta James, all of the icons.
Yes.
In soul music. And then, modern artists, I love a lot of like pop musicians and electronic music. So, of course, like Dua Lipa and, modern artists like that.
Modern stuff like that. Oh, yeah, of course. Of course, yeah. Absolutely fantastic choices there. Now, where did you perform your first gig?
Oh, goodness. Oh, do you know, my first, I'm going way back.
Right.
I probably first gigs were probably like doing a cover song in like whenever I was very, very young. Probably 10 or something. I remember being like singing competitions, things like that. Well, way back.
And what songs would you sing, do you think, back then? What would be your one that you would get up and sing? If you were on a karaoke, for example.
Whenever I was younger?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Do you know, I have a really distinct memory of whenever I was very young, of that Leona Lewis song. It's completely...
Oh, A Moment Like This.
The one that she won X Factor with?
That's right, A Moment Like This.
I remember singing that whenever I was in a singing competition, but I don't know when that would have been.
Well, my sister actually sung that for our first dance at our wedding,
really?
My wife Kelly's wedding. Yes, she sung A Moment Like This.
It's an iconic song now.
Iconic. Excellent. And do you think you would be singing that again in the future, Nadia?
I don't know. I'll leave it up to Leona Lewis, I think, these days.
Excellent. Actually, I don't think she's probably sung that song since she won the X Factor.
Oh, I know.
I wonder if she can still get those notes.
Oh, I'm sure she could. She's amazing.
Excellent. We'll have to get her on the show and then I can ask her that question. Now, does writing music come easy to you?
Yeah, I think it's very second nature now. I have been writing since I was a child, little songs whenever I was really young. I think nowadays, especially in pop music, it's quite formulaic or whatever, the way that you're writing songs. So there's definitely more of a structure with that compared to like soul music or whatever. But yeah, I mean, I think it's not very, it comes very natural now. I actually was talking about this to someone. I get a lot of ideas for songs like just as I'm about to fall asleep, and I have to force myself to wake back up and write them down. Right. It always happens. I don't know what that is. I've heard other singers talk about that before, but I don't know.
Yes, it is quite common. That I have spoke to a couple of people who've said that's happened, it's a great time to get a bit of inspiration, even though you need to, because if you actually did start falling asleep, you probably would wake up in the night, and you would think of it still, wouldn't you? And you'd write it down.
Well, do you know, it happens all the time. I'm like, I have to force myself to wake up right now because I will not remember this. And sometimes I'm like, I'll remember it in the morning, and I don't.
Well, I've heard people actually have. I've heard people actually have a recording feature on the phone, or they use the old-fashioned cassette things, and they'll record it on there. They'll go do 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 do, or they'll go, maybe a name of a title of a song that would sound good. If they said so and so is at number 1 in the charts, I have a big head or something. I don't know. I've got curly hair. I don't know. But you know what I mean? You write it down,
Yeah, I'm always in my notes, like writing stuff, or I'm in the little recording app. In my phone, I have hundreds of recordings. Some of them don't make probably any sense, but
they will one day make sense.
Get it down your phone.
That's right. If you're struggling one day, you can go, oh, actually, what's that one? Da, 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 da. Oh, yeah, we'll have that one. And I can add the lyrics to that or elaborate. But do you find actually that music now, when I hear it, it's like maybe I'm old-fashioned or something, but there isn't actually, like I say, with the soul music there's a story in the song. Now, fair enough, the story's in your songs. But some songs that's in the charts it's all to do with either somebody whistling, or, like a bit of a loop going on with whistling or something, and then they'll repeat the same thing, lyrics over again. Like one of the artists sung, "Where do you go? Where do you go? Where do you go?" I mean, where was that song going? I mean, it did well in the charts. They were doing something right, but me, I was going, well, where?
Yeah.
What is the point of it,
I guess there's all different styles of writing, I guess. I mean, I do think because I was influenced so much by like soul music, I think I, in a way, still follow that format a lot, where you're still trying to tell a story or express some emotion or whatever it is, But yeah, I guess there's all different writing styles.
Now, talking about wonderful music that you've sung, Nadia, I came across your lovely acoustic version of Cry to Me. What inspired you to record a stripped-back version that sounds magical? And with over 115,000 views on YouTube, you must have done something right.
I just always loved that song so much. I mean, the original song, there's, strings and there's a whole brass section and stuff in it. It's very different, really, compared to the other music I'm doing. But I don't know. I love a stripped back version of a song. I just think, it really allows you to express the emotions. And we recorded that one live in the studio. So it's just something lovely just to stand and just sing the song, you know what I mean? Just really, and it was just with the piano. It's just, I don't know. I've always loved being able to do a stripped back version. It
looked absolutely beautiful as well, and I was really getting drawn into it because you were standing there. If I tell listeners here, Now, listeners, what it is that there's Nadia there, she's standing there, and there's a microphone like on a boom, which is over the top of her kind of thing, and there's a gentleman playing the keyboard there, and it's quite a relaxed atmosphere. It's quite a dark room, but you can still see Nadia and the pianist there. It's absolutely wonderful. So you'll have to check it out. It's called Cry to Me. But yes, honestly, a fantastic rendition. And no wonder all of those 115,000 people love it.
Thank you very much. That's very sweet. Thank you.
Will you be releasing that on a live version on an album at some point? Because I bet you could use that.
Do you know, I actually do have that one up on Spotify. So just...
Right.
You know, and it's actually one of my biggest ones on Spotify as well. So it's done well, you know, and, you know, very grateful for everyone listening and watching.
Excellent. Yes, look that one up there on Spotify there. Cry to Me, the acoustic version by Nadia. Now, you broke into the mainstream in 2023, marked by a string of successful releases, and the lineup includes Every Step, The Hypnotic Earworm Push the Button, and Figure It Out, produced by the legendary Arden Keys Altino, who's renowned for his work with Jay-Z, Mary J. Blige, and Justin Bieber. What was it like recording in the studio and working with this world-renowned producer, Arden Keys Altino?
So I actually recorded it here in Northern Ireland. And then the vocals were sent to him, and then he worked on the song. But yeah, no, he's so lovely. He's the nicest man. But yeah, I mean, yeah, he really is. He's so lovely, down to earth, and, you know, legendary. He's worked with so many amazing musicians.
Yes.
So yeah, no, it was amazing to be able to do a song with him.
And do you think you'll be doing any more work with Arden Keys Altino in the future? Or
I don't know. We'll see.
We'll see. Watch this space. Now, talking about famous singers and such like, is there anyone, if you could have a choice today, the shop windows open as it were, is there anyone you would like to collaborate with if you could choose any singer or songwriter today?
Do you know, I've always loved everything. I mean, yeah, like I really do. I love everything that Mark Ronson does.
Yes.
I just love his vibe. He's such an amazing producer, musician, everything, you know, so he would be like one of my dream people to collaborate with, definitely.
That's an excellent choice. Excellent choice. And yeah, he's done loads and loads of great stuff over the decades. Yeah. And it's always something, whenever he brings something out, it always sounds different. So if he has an artist there and works with them, it's not like same old. It's like, you know, it's just lovely. You can always tell a Mark Ronson, produced song, can't you?
Definitely. Yeah, I mean, you're so right. Everything sounds different. I think that's what I really love about him. Like all his work with Amy Winehouse, just to every artist, it's just amazing.
So hopefully, coming to a record store near you, it'll be Nadia, produced by Mark Ronson. Watch this space. You just never
manifest
know.
That, yeah.
We'll manifest that one today for you there. It's out there. Now, since making your live debut in London supporting Delta, I think that's the right way of saying it, at Paper Dress Vintage, you are set to embark on your first mini tour supporting Irish pop sensation Lyra, who I'm going to be speaking to soon on the show. Where will you be visiting on your magical tour?
Yeah, so we are going to Manchester, Glasgow, Cardiff, and then London. But yeah, this is my first tour, so I'm just so excited. I'm very, very grateful to Lyra and her team for having me there. So yeah, it's gonna be great.
I bet. So it's the first time of you going on the tour bus, as it were.
Yes. Yeah.
It'll be really exciting. I know that you'll have such a buzz on stage there. And what kind of audiences are you looking at? Are you looking at thousands and thousands of people out there?
I think each venue is like about 300-ish, but it's really exciting. So, I mean, that was my first gig over in London supporting Delta, and then a lot of these will be my first time as well. So Manchester, Glasgow, Cardiff, it'll be my first time gigging there too. So.
Indeed, and we can get so if people want to look to see where you're going to be visiting in the future, they can head over to your website. Could you tell us your social medias where listeners can follow you and maybe get tickets for a future gig?
Yeah, so if you go to my Instagram, it's Nadia, Nadia official music, and then there's like a link tree, and the tickets are through there for the tour.
Fabulous. So that's going to be the Deaf Institute in Manchester, King Tut's in Glasgow, the Globe in Cardiff, and the well-known Amira in London as well. So check out all of Nadia's social media there, and you can get tickets for this tour and future tours as well, which will be coming soon to, no doubt, a town or city near you. Now, your new single, Catch Me If You Can, is a fabulously catchy tune, which is out now. What is the track about, and is there a video to go with it in the future?
Yeah, so I don't have any plans for a video yet, but I would absolutely love to do a video for this. It's just such a fun song. It's so upbeat, and yeah, I think it would be a great one for a video. But yeah, it was written about kind of whenever you're falling really hard for someone and you're just completely infatuated by them.
Yeah.
So the song is about, my head is spinning, like I just feel like I can't see straight. I'm just completely infatuated with this person. So yeah, it's just a fun disco kind of track. It takes inspiration from like 70s disco. So I love that sound. So yeah, excited for it to be out.
It does. It sounds absolutely amazing as well. And we'll be playing that very, very soon on the show. Now, have you got a forthcoming album coming out soon? And if so, are we going to have plenty of disco tracks on that?
I mean, an album is something I would love to do and kind of have that body of work. But I think for now, I'm just doing singles. But yeah, I mean, the whole disco genre, I do really love that. So maybe there'll be some more of that in the future.
Because I don't think anyone's really doing the disco stuff now, really. You know what I mean? So you'd be unique. You would fill that niche.
Maybe.
I mean, where's Steph's gone and where's all of these other groups gone? All these fun tunes, we need them back in the charts.
Yeah, I get you.
Yes, just like yourself, Nadia. Now, do you have any future projects coming up that you could tell us about?
I mean, I'm just working on new music, potentially a music video in the next few months for a different track. And then, yeah, just, focusing on recording, and after the Lyra tour, then, hopefully more gigs and stuff. Yeah.
Fabulous. Now, where can listeners follow you and buy your music? Now, you've already told us where we can follow you, but where can they buy your music? Is it on all download platforms?
Yeah, so it's on all of the music platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, all of that. It's just Nadia, so I think it's just in all capitals on Spotify and everything. So easy to find me. But if you go to my Instagram or TikTok or any of that, there's a link to be able to go and listen.
That's right. On iTunes or Apple or whatever it is, or Amazon Music and all the rest
all
of them.
That, yeah.
Yes, all of the above, as it were, or below for that matter. If you're watching this video on YouTube, which is where eventually the interview will go. Now, talking about putting things down and that, if you had a turntable next to you right now, because the vinyl revival is upon us, What record would you put the needle on the record for me today and say, you've got to listen to this, Phil, I love it?
Do you know what? I'm really trying to think what vinyl that I actually own, because I do have a record player and I love it. Trying to
It
think.
can be anything. It could be the most craziest thing ever. It's like, I'll give you an example. It's like, like I like Benny Hill. He drove the fastest milk cart in the West, but also I like Michael McDonald and Sweet Freedom. So it can be anything. Can you think of anyone?
I mean, if I'm actually thinking about what vinyl I have, I would say, iconic album, it has to be Dark Side of the Moon.
Oh, yes.
Love that. I mean, it's always going to be iconic, the album.
Yes, you like Pink Floyd and people like that. And
of course.
Yes, wonderful. That's an excellent choice there. So, are you a fan of The Cause as well and people like that? Is there any of the Irish bands that you're a fan of? Well, actually, while you're on, do you know of a singer called Brian Kennedy?
Oh, yeah.
Now he is major, but in Great Britain, he's not really known, is he?
I don't know. I mean,
he's very well known.
Kennedy,
but he's very well known because remember when Westlife sung "You Raise Me Up," he was the person who originally sung it because I've got the CD single to prove it.
That's very cool. No, yeah, definitely know of Brian Kennedy.
Yeah, because he's like a big deal over in Ireland.
Definitely.
But strange how he's put the message in the box over here was the only biggest hit he had over here. But there you go. Oh, well, I'm pleased I've asked that question there. So, yes, would you do a duet with Brian Kennedy, would you say?
I don't know. I mean, he's done so well, so of course I'm always going to be up for any collaboration with Irish artists.
Fabulous. Yes, we'll get him on the phone there then. Yes, Brian Kennedy, if you're watching, Nadia wants to do a nice duet with you. Or maybe you could write a song for her. You just never know. You never know. Now, unfortunately, Nadia, we've run out of time. So it just leaves me to say thank you so much for joining me on the show. And I'd like to wish you all the very best with the tour. I know it's going to be a great success. And all the best with all your future projects. And would you like to come on the show again? Because it'd be great to speak to you again.
Oh, of course. Thank you so much for having me on there. I appreciate it.
No problem. And finally, could you introduce your latest single, Catch Me If You Can?
Yeah, so this is my new single, Catch Me If You Can.
Nadia, it's been a privilege speaking to you. All the best, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
All the best.
Bye.
Bye.